Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio. With me today is Councilman Eugene Tewalt. Eugene is running again for mayor. Eugene, you were our mayor before. When was that?
2008,
2010. And that's a 2-year period you were mayor.
Period, yes.
And so him and Hollis Tharpe are on the ballot for this November 5th. So today we want to talk again, bring people up to date on what's happening in the mayoral campaign, get a little overview of what Mr. Tewalt has plans if he gets elected as the mayor. So Eugene, bring us up to date on your campaign, and let's talk a little bit about the future in Front Royal.
Well, everything looks fine as far as the campaign's going. Everybody I've talked to has been very positive. Everybody went out and knocked doors, seemed to be very receptive to me becoming the next mayor of Front Royal, and hopefully that we can make some changes that will be enhanced so we can enhance the community and get everybody working together again and make sure that we all are going about our jobs, such as with the mayor, and bringing stability to Warren County and Front Royal.
Yeah, there seems a lot of, I think the tension in the community now with these indictments and things that happen to our Board of Supervisors and the EDA really gears down to how, basically the job, these are jobs that people expect to have done by their elected officials. And the mayor is no different. I mean, I know he can't vote on the council, but, he is kind of like the spokesperson for the town and kind of sets the tone of our community. And, we need a positive face out there doing it. Well, I know you did that when you were the mayor before. Right. You were in the community every day.
Well, I think that's what we need. We need to heal our community, and the only way we can heal Warren County and Front Royal is work together to the betterment of the community. And until we begin to work together in that, the community is still going to be at odds with one another, and we need to get together and work out our differences as far as the county and the Board of Supervisors as well as the EDA, and look at the positive slant on these issues, and hopefully within the next year or less that we can get things moving again for Warren County and Front Royal.
Right.
As far as my campaign is concerned, I want to work for the community. I don't have any personal agendas. I want to make sure that the things that we get done is something that we need in Front Royal, and that we can all work together to the common good of the community.
When I'm out and about and speaking to people in our community, there's still a lot of positive energy. There's a few that are really, negative, but in really speaking to most people, they still want to live here. They love it here. They want the community. They want to get things back on track. We've had a few hiccups along the way, and serious ones, but there's still good, what they say, good bones, so to speak, right? And we have a lot of things going for us, and a lot of things on the, in the mix of projects and things that we've done. And we've done a lot in the last, 20 years, come a long way. And, I think we need this positive approach in our community.
Well, that's the only way we're going to heal our community is working together in a positive attitude. When we go in a negative attitude, like some of them that's on Facebook and people like that, which they really don't know what they're just talking about. They just want to have something to stir a lot of issues. And if they get down to the brass tacks of all the information that is out there, then I think most people would see a different view of the community as well as the town, county, and the EDA. There has been an issue there, and we know what the issues are, and we just need to put them to the side and get them over with and move forward. Because if we don't start moving forward, working together, then nothing gets accomplished.
Right. Well, let's talk about some things that are going on in the town that I know you were instrumental in with the council to make some changes in our downtown area. We have our block grant project going on. Mm-hmm. That'll revitalize some of that. It's kind of like they say, how the downtown goes is the way the rest of the town goes. And we're building this town plaza concept. That's really something that's been on the drawing board for a long time, and is finally coming to reality there with our Ramada and the big thing, the bathrooms downtown. That sounds like a little thing, but that's really a major item.
Well, yeah, I think the block grant is going to be a very positive thing when it's completed. We get a lot of new facades on the buildings, which they all pretty do need something to make it more presentable to the general public as well as the tourism that comes into Front Royal. I'm hoping that by building the bathrooms and the pavilion that we have proposed will be positive, which I'm sure it will be, because everybody that I've talked to when they go down there, they just cannot stand to go into these Johnny Blues or these,
Nothing worse than that.
portable bathrooms.
Well.
And so this is going to be a very positive to our community. When we did the block grant in 1985-86, when we built the gazebo area and the park, it worked out great. There are some hitches in it, but again, we can work those things out, and I'm hoping that with the help of the community working with us and the people that are involved in doing the work, that we can see a good positive slant on Front Royal and the community.
Yeah, it makes the town looks better. I mean, one little thing the town does is, and working with the garden club, is those flowers hanging in those baskets. We get more comments on them flowers.
They are absolutely beautiful. I mean,
I don't know how they get them to grow. They dump a lot of water on them.
Well, yeah, but you don't realize how big they are and how beautiful they are until you stand beside one.
I know.
Of them. Those things are huge. But they are gorgeous. They are just beautiful, and I've had more comments from people I've discussed, Front Row with, and just walking up and down Main Street says that they are some of the most prettiest flowers they've seen anywhere in the state of Virginia or otherwise.
They're just petunias, aren't they? I mean, they're just, I don't know what they are, but it's a simple flower, but they just, I think it's because it's so unique that people really like. Little things, that shows you that little things make a difference.
Exactly.
Little things make a difference.
The more we can enhance Front Royal, the better off we will be. We are a tourism community, and we need to really gear ourselves to that part of our history as being in tourism business. And we need to really project that in the community as well as outside the community, because that is part of our livelihood.
I don't think people realize how many people come through our community and how much work it takes to get them to stop.
It's a lot of work, but again, though, we need to have a drawing card.
Right.
And we have all the amenities that people are looking for. We have the rivers, we have the mountains, we have, all the things that people want. And this new generation loves their weekends that they can go out and canoe along the river and go up on the Skyline Drive and enjoy the mountains and enjoy the things that we have. And we have the fruits here in Front Royal that can make that happen.
Let's talk a little bit about when you say the people, because people do come out here to visit and they want to move here. And there's been some projects on the drawing board in this last couple business town meetings with the Crooked Run West, and it all really, and Chris Ramsey's project up on Guard Hill Road, it all evolves around our water and sewer. What do you want to say about that?
That is the biggest, probably one of the biggest issues we have for facing the town council at this time is the Crooked Run. And we have an issue here. I mean, number one, we have approximately 1,900 lots left in Front Royal, in the actual Front Royal area, that we have to serve because they're in our community. We have a moratorium on water to the community on residential buildings.
Into the county.
Into the county, that's correct. And we have that, and we signed an MOU with the county. I'm not sure exactly, 16 or 17, that the Crooked Run, we have them 40,000 gallons of water for strictly commercial. And we agreed to that under the MOU that we have with the county. And now all of a sudden they want to put in so many units, anywhere from 7 to 1,000 units of buildings which are residential. And right now I don't believe that the town can actually service them with the water and sewer. At this point, even right today, we're on the verge of having mandatory water restrictions, and if we can't serve the people that we already have in Front Royal, how are we going to begin to serve the areas of the county if the water problem becomes more enhanced with no rain? Right. And so I'm looking at it on the basis that right now we cannot afford to put more water into the county because we already have allocated the 1,900 lots in Front Royal. So I think we just need to look at this on a different perspective and say, look, we're not going to do residential in the county. We've already approved with our water issue we have that we're going to put the commercial out there. If they need commercial for water for commercial businesses, then we support that.
Right.
The 40,000 gallons. But anything above that, at this point, I don't think the town ought to be obligated to supply water to any residential units within the county that's not in Fort Royal or that's are in the county.
Oh, you mentioned MOA. Tell us what that is.
Well,
We start using this government jargon here, you know.
Well, it's a mutual agreement of understanding, and we call them MOU. And in that, we agree to certain things, and the county agreed to certain things that we have to live by.
Guidelines.
Yeah, they're guidelines that we need to follow, just like our water policy. Our water policy says that we do not serve any residential units in the county.
All right, so if we decided we were going to do this, we're going to have to expand our water and sewer plant. That costs money. Now they're talking about lowering tap fees. That's how we get the money to do these things, isn't it?
Well, pretty much, yeah. That we use the money that comes in for the tap fees, water and the sewer, and they go into the enterprise funds, the water enterprise, the sewer enterprise, and then we set that money aside to pay off our loans, which the sewer loan, when we just finished the completed 2 years ago, was a $50 million project, and we're paying on that for another so many years. I'm not sure if it was 20 or 30, but I believe it was 20. But again, though, that's the money we use to pay the debt service back to the community.
So we're taking money out of our slush fund to pay that?
Well, we're taking money out of well, let's put it this way. We don't know yet. We either going to have to take it out to balance our new budget if this is passed, or we're going to have to find another way to bring forth the amount of money that we lose by lowering the tap fee.
Yeah, because I seen where the study was like $270,000 or $300,000 just between now and the end of this fiscal year.
Well, according to the information that we've received, $200,000 less in the sewer fund and around $70,000 left in the water fund.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I know that people don't realize that we have these enterprise funds. So like we have one for our water and sewer, and we have one for electric. Mm-hmm. We have another one for something else, but those monies are only to be spent. They're generated. The funds are generated by water and sewer services and taps, but it can only be spent on those things. They're not part of the general fund, and really not tax dollars are in there.
No, that money stands alone as an enterprise fund, and we need to use that money pretty much for the purpose of the water and the sewer, the garbage, as well as the electrical. And we try to do that. Now, we do take money out of those accounts to cover the bookkeeping and things of that nature. Right. It's a percentage that we bring out. And then sometimes we can borrow money from those enterprise funds, but we have to make a loan just like we would at a bank, and we have to pay it back on a yearly basis.
Right. These funds are really controlled by state law, aren't they?
Basically, yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's not just something the town just decides on a whim that we've got this money sitting there, we can spend it.
That's correct.
Right. Because I know there's a lot of talk about, well, we just have this money sitting there, it's not doing anything. And I think that's, I go back to the mayor again. The mayor controls the meetings and the agendas. Mm-hmm. And it seems like that, currently our interim mayor is pretty strong. He has an agenda that he wants to do, and he seems that he's pushing it through. Is that something that, is he cooperative? And that's something the mayor needs to really do with council. I can remember years ago, you used the phrase, I think, herding cats sometimes, sometimes working with a committee, it's like that, it has good times and bad times. But what do you see coming in the future that you'll do different this time than what you did last time?
Well, not a whole lot of difference. Times have changed since 2008 and 9 to this year, 2019 and 20. But the main thing I want to accomplish as mayor is to continue to provide the town people, their citizens, with the leadership that we need to enhance Front Royal. Like I said, I don't have any personal agendas. I want to make sure that we treat all our citizens fairly, and I want to make sure that we spend our money wisely so that we can be pretty well solvent with our money. And I want to make sure that the money we spend is used for the community. On the other things, I'd like to see us enhance our EDA. We have a person on staff that that I want to try to push to move in the directions of getting more businesses on Main Street and other areas of Front Royal. We sort of say the Front Royal Main Street area, but we need to look at Front Royal as a whole. You know, we have South Street, we have the Rural King area, we have the over at the Big Lots area. We need to enhance those. We have a lot of buildings that are standing empty.
Right.
And we need to bring in people, businesses that will fill these buildings so that we can get more tax base in our community from the commercial people. And even though we still need to look at our residential as well. As far as the residential is concerned, this is really more of a bedroom community, but we have so many rentals in Front Royal. We need to look at our dilapidated buildings. We need to look at that pretty heavily and try to get something worked out with the community so we can get some of the buildings removed and or repaired in our area to make our town look better, because we are blighted in a lot of areas. There's other areas that I like to look at in regards to what's best for the community. I think we need to sit down with not only the council but other people and just see what they feel, how they feel that we need to bring into the community so that we can enhance Front Royal. Now, we have set status quo for a good while. Now we have the Leech Run Parkway, and we have other things, and we have the hospital coming in. And I think we can do better. I think we can do a lot better if we all work together to a common goal, whether it's in Front Royal or whether it's in the county. And I want to get that through to the council as well as to the county, that we can work together and improve our community. Because when I look at Front Royal, Warren County, I look at one community.
Sure.
I mean, we're not separated. We're all part of Warren County. We're about equal in population, but we're about 33,000. We have about 15 plus, so we're about as equal as the counties can be. So, but we need to work together. We need to come to a common goal, and I think we're doing that through our recreation, not our recreation, but our tourism. I think we're doing that in a lot of the other issues, but we need to come together more and show the county that we can work together for the common good of the community, because without working together we have chaos, and that's what we have right now in the community because of the EDA issue. But I think we can resolve that. It's going to take a while, but I think working together with the new Board of Supervisors and with people new on the council, that we can come to a conclusion of this. And I think in the future that we can see maybe something positive coming out of this whole issue. At least that's what I'm hoping to see anyway.
You mentioned to me to being open to more community communications. You've always done that. I know your phone number is published in the phone book, so it's not like you've have a secret number. You can always get hold of you. I know you take a lot of calls from people and the citizens in Front Royal, but you mentioned that you wanted to have even more open communications and citizenry input on a lot of these issues that we have. And it seems like, I think people, like if you look at the Board of Supervisors meeting yesterday, the citizens don't feel like they're being heard. Mm-hmm. And I know that that's something that you've always really embraced that.
Well, we need transparency in the community. If we don't have transparency, then it looks as if we're doing something behind people's backs. And I don't like that. I want to be out front. I'm out there. And I've said this all along when I was a mayor before, even on the council, that I'm out to serve the community. I'm out to serve the citizens of Front Royal. If you have a complaint, come to me. Maybe we can't resolve the issue, but at least we can discuss it and see where we may be able to go to either make it better or get it done in working together. But if we don't work together and we don't let the community know what's being done, then it just looks kind of strange, because that's what's happened with our federal government. They're doing everything in secret down there, and then all of a sudden it just blows up into the community. And I don't want to see that in Front Royal, Warren County. I want to see us work together, have the ability to call one another, to sit down and talk with one another, and let the public know that we're working for them. They voted us in, and we need to consider that, and we need to make sure that we're working for our constituents.
Right.
And not for individuals, and not for things that we think we want, but what the community needs. And when we begin to do that, I think we'll see the Front Royal, Warren County begin to flourish with different ideas and things, and we'll be able to see the results of that if we work together.
I really appreciate you coming in and talking to us. Now, the election is November 5th. That's
It
a
is.
Tuesday.
Mhm.
You know, it'll be here in just about 30 days, 32 days, I think. Something that'll be here before you know it.
It will be here.
If you're not going to be here on November 5th, you can vote early, and you can get an absentee ballot. So you need to talk to Carol Tobin at the registrar's office and take care of that. So because voting is important, even one vote makes a difference.
It does.
It does.
And Mike, I want to thank you for letting me come and talk to the public, and hopefully that the people will vote for me as mayor, and hopefully we can get more things accomplished in the next year, and then maybe thereafter. After next year, I'll have to rerun again if I
Right. That's right.
decide
This
to
is
run
a
for
special
mayor,
election. Right.
again for another 2 years. So it's a 1 year stance at this point, and then next year, if I decide to rerun again, then it'll be a 2 year stint. So hopefully that I can get at least 3 years, maybe more, in my tenure with the town as being the mayor, and hopefully we can get things accomplished for their citizenry, because we really need the healing in our community.
Well, it sounds like you're ready to hit the road or hit the ground running, so to
I'm
speak.
hoping that I can, yes.
Again, Gene, I really appreciate you coming in. Anytime you
Appreciate
have something to say, you're always welcome here on the Royal Examiner.
Well, there is one thing I would like to mention too. I'm hoping that when I become the mayor, that I can work with you and have maybe a monthly meeting with the community. I think we call them town hall meetings, and I
Right.
think that would be very enlightening to the community, and that would give the ability that we're trying to bring things out to the public. And I'd like to begin that as soon as we can get things moving in regards to that issue. I
Well,
would like
appreciate
to
it.
do that.
Well, the Royal Examiner is here to help our community grow and to heal, and we're trying to get the information out, because with information you can make good decisions.
That's correct, yes.
Again, Gene, thanks again. I really appreciate it, and good luck on the
And I
5th.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.